All right, let's talk about volume of a cylinder. Okay. All right, so volume of a cylinder. First of all, what the crap is a cylinder? So a cylinder is like a can of beans or corn or something like that. Okay. So it has a circle on the top. Okay, let's give it a radius. Let's say the radius is, we'll call the radius 2. Come on, little pen. It doesn't like to write. 2 inches. Okay. And if you wanted to, you could go out into your pantry. You could. It's hard to measure the radius, but you could measure the diameter from. Remember diameter? What diameter is? So diameter is from one side all the way to the other. Okay. You could measure the diameter. Okay. And then divide it by 2 and get the radius and literally find the volume of a cylinder in your pantry. Okay. All right. So volume is how much fits inside. Okay. That's what we're looking at. Okay. How much is in this can? How much can fit inside this can? Okay. And what we're going to require is we're going to require to find basically the area of this circle. Okay. That's what you're going to see. We're going to find basically the area of this circle on top, and then we're going to multiply it by the depth, okay, of the can, all right? And it's really important to get to know that GED formula sheet that you have in your book, all right? Because this is what you're going to have on the GED, right? And it says the volume of a, let's change this back to black, the volume of a cylinder. They're saying volume equals, wow, pi, get this thing to write, r squared times h. Sometimes it just does not want to write. Pi r squared times h, right? That depth or that height, that's that h, okay? All right, and if you remember before, white, nobody wants white, okay? This right here, pi r squared, that was our formula for area. So we're finding the area, okay? And we're multiplying it by this depth or this height, okay? So looking at this right here, I would have volume equals pi, which is 3.14, times the radius squared, which is 2 squared, times, I won't write, times the height, which is 4 inches, okay? Oh, it doesn't like me. I pushed something. There we go. Okay. It wants me to buy more apps, I think. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's switch this to a different screen where we can see better. Okay, so we had volume equals pi r squared times the height, right? And you don't have to put the times in there. I'm just putting it in there so you remember it's times, right? 3.14 times 2 squared, which is the same as 2 times 2, okay, times our height, which was 4. And they're all the same dimensions. It's very important, especially on the GED, that you make sure that they have the same dimensions. They do really like on these problems to put something perhaps in inches and something in feet or something in centimeters and something in millimeters to also test you, can you convert between dimensions. Okay, so on the GED, being very, very careful that the dimensions are the same. Okay, let's go ahead and put this into our handy dandy calculator. And we had 3.14 maybe times 2 times 2 times 4. All right, I'm not using the squared because this one doesn't do the squared so easily and well. Okay, and that gives me 50.24. Okay, so back here I get 50.24. I believe, were we doing inches? Let's pretend it was inches. And because it's volume, it will be cubed. Okay? All right, so let's look at another one real quick. What if they give us, I'm just going to use my finger now because the pen is driving me nuts. Okay, what if they give us the diameter this time? Okay, so remember diameter is from edge to edge. And they say that diameter, let's say they say it is 8, let's just stick in inches, 8 inches. Okay, so they're saying find the volume of this cylinder. The diameter is 8 inches and the height, let's give that 10 inches. Okay, so this is a pretty decent sized item. All right, so remembering volume, that volume is equal to pi r squared times height, right? So we have to change diameter into radius, right? So diameter divided by 2 gives me that radius. So 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. Okay, so the radius is 4. Right, so remembering our radius was 4, our height was 10, right? Because here was our lovely can. I believe we said it was 10 inches there. And we did find that radius. That radius is 4 inches. Okay? Do you love that radius? That's very good drawing, I know. Okay? So volume equals pi times r squared times height, right? And I put the times in there again, which is 3.14 times, in this case, I'm just going to use 4 times 4 for that radius squared, right? So you can just use your calculator to do 4 squared. I don't really have that function so easily on my phone. It can do it. It's just kind of annoying. Okay, times 10. All right, let's go ahead, switch over to our calculator, clear it out. 3.14, that's what we're using for pi, times 4 times 4 times 10. All right, and that gives me 502.4. Okay, oops, and I switch back over here, 502.4 inches cubed. Okay, cubed, and it's cubed because we actually have 3 different dimensions here. We have, this is 4 inches, this is 4 inches, and this is 10 inches. 1, 2, 3, and that is why this shows up as a 3. Okay, so that is circumference.